Hi Isaiah. Your Auntie Em asked a number of us to put together videos for her book club, and she gave us each a topic, and so mine's fatherhood. Now, my personal opinion is that after you have a certain number of videos as part of a book club, you should probably start calling it a movie watching club. But that aside, I decided that instead of just doing one for the book club, I would put together a little video for you, talking to you about fatherhood, what that means to me, and maybe give you an idea if you're headed into that time of your life right now, that you could watch that. I'm hoping that I'll still be around to be able to talk to you about that when the time comes, if the time comes for you that you're stepping into fatherhood. So rather than just make a boring old video, I decided I would do spoken word for you. So here goes. Fatherhood isn't easy. Sometimes it makes me feel queasy when I realize that the future of the world depends on our ability to see clearly. And then I move forward. See that? So I come into focus. See clearly. Anyway, then I realized that I was a father. Dads aren't really that cool, and I don't really know how to do spoken word, so I kind of left it at that. The first thing I wanted to talk about was imagination. And the other day you came to me and asked me if I thought that you had the best imagination of any of the kids that I knew. And I certainly think that you have an incredible imagination. It's fantastic to watch and to be witness to see you play, to see your mind at work. And it also inspires me to creativity. And so the first thing I want to talk about with fatherhood was that act of imagination. How I responded to you in the moment, I believe, was that it's not so much a matter of whether you have a great imagination when you're young, but on your ability to carry that forward into the future. Dostoevsky once said that beauty will save the world. And it's a bit of an odd thing to say, but I think what he's getting at is that this imagination, this creative force for the good, is something that has transformative power. When we're working for redemption with a ferocious creativity, there's almost nothing that can stop it. And so one of the big challenges of fatherhood is to encourage imagination when a child is young, but also to help them see the value in it throughout the course of their life, to help them live with this hope that it is possible for the future to be different and better than our current situation, and that we can have a role in that. For this next part, I want to talk a little bit about patience and frustration, two words that you'll come to know well as a father. It almost feels like when you have children that you have created these robots, and yet you go to push buttons on the control panel and they're not responding the way that you think that they should. I think there's a lot tied up in that, whether it's societal expectations, whether it's ideas around responsibility, justice, power, fairness, what it means to be a good parent, what it means to be a good person. But whatever it does, it's challenging for us, but it's also an opportunity because it pushes us more than almost anything ever has. I've worked with a number of people who have had some pretty significant behavioral challenges, and so they may be biting, they may be kicking or punching or scratching, but I've found none of it nearly as frustrating as having my own children. It's an exercise in extreme patience. My dad, your grandpa, was a great example of this. And I'm always reminded of those times that we would be challenging for him, when we would disobey or we would question or we would challenge, and he never lost his temper or his cool. He didn't let us get away with things, but neither did he get angry. And so I hope to some extent you remember me that way. I hope that is a mark of who I am as a person, but I know there are many times that I maybe haven't lived up to that. And so I'm sorry for those times that I may have lost my patience with you. Really, at the end of the day, these times, these challenges, are a reminder for us to slow down, It might even be something as simple as waiting for a child to tie their shoe or to learn a task, giving them that space to try something and to maybe not do it perfectly is a reminder for us to take that time to fail when we need to fail, to make mistakes, to push on. And that's God's example with us as well. That no matter how much we mess up, no matter how much we let him down, he's always there, this example of patience and loving kindness. The other thing this does is it reminds us to slow down, that life isn't all about how many things we get done, where we're trying to get to, what we're trying to get through. That the important thing in life isn't how much we do, it's who we do. It reminds us that the important thing in life isn't how much we do, it's who we do life with. And so for this next portion, I was having a hard time thinking of something creative to do, so I decided to act it out with my good friends Batman and Frodo.
Son. Yes, Papa? I am Batman. I know, Papa. Son. Yes, Papa? The psalmist tells us we are like flowers of the field. He flourishes like a flower, for the wind passes over it, and it is gone, and its place knows it no more. Papa? Yes, son. That's depressing. Yes, son. Son. Yes, Papa? I guess what I'm trying to say is not like those modern people that you need to act vulnerable and weak. Okay, Papa. What I'm trying to say is that under these bad shells, we are all vulnerable and weak. What I'm asking is for you to be honest about who you are. Okay, Papa. Papa? Yes, Frodes. I went for a joyride in the Bat car last night. Son, thank you for being honest with me. We will talk about this later. Right now, I'm trying to look like a good father on camera. Son. Yes, Papa? I love you. I love you too, Papa.
Thanks for watching. I hope that you found this video interesting and useful. When I think of each day that I have to spend with my children, it reminds me how much of a gift every day is. And Stanley Hauerwas talks about being a friend of time, and there's no greater reminder of how important that is than children, where presence, where spending time with people matters so much and goes so far. So I'm hoping that if the time comes for you, Isaiah, when you're stepping into fatherhood, that I will be there and I will be able to show this to you, and we'll be able to talk about all these things together. But regardless, I love you, and I know that you would make a great father if that's what you choose to do.